So, how are we doing, everybody? We are back. We are back. It is Saturday night. It is a bonfire night. There is fireworks going off everywhere. I'm sure Newcastle is absolutely lit up at the moment after their controversial win, shall we say, over Newcastle over Arsenal. Leaving Tottenham to be the only unbeaten team in the league. Now, who would have thought of that? Who would have seen that coming? Certainly not me, and probably not you. But let's just see where the season takes. Let's just see where the season goes, because I'm sure there's a lot of weird things still yet to happen. But one thing that wasn't so weird, but a little bit more of a glad that's over sort of afternoon was watching the Manchester United game. Now, I wasn't able to watch it because I was at work, but I've looked at the highlights, and the highlights weren't actually that long. Not really a lot to talk about with this game. It was a very lackluster game. A lot of, especially if you are a United supporter, you're very frustrated with watching us try and try and try and try and try to get the ball in the back of the net and failing with pretty much everything that we brought forth to the table. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick delve into things. Apologies that it is a much later in the day sort of match reaction. Stephanie Griffiths, fantastic to see you. Always here to like and support my mate. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Really appreciate the support. And if you want to be someone like someone proper, be like Stephanie here. Hit the likes and subscribe and show some love and support, because everybody's got to be a nice person, right? Everyone's got to be a nice person. Be like Stephanie. But yeah, it's an interestingly boring game. As the title suggests, that Bruno serves justice, and some people might be asking, "Whoa, what sort of justice are we talking about?" I've had a look at that goal that Scott McTominay scored, and it got ruled out supposedly for offside. I'm looking at it and thinking, what's offside about this goal? And to be honest, it's one of those where it's quite, it's close, it's in line. Garnacho, I think it was flagged for offside. Garnacho is leaning in to make the run, so he's sort of positioned to go and make the run on the near side, to then fire the ball across the face of goal for Scott McTominay to bury in at the back stick, and everybody else was onside, right? Everybody else was absolutely fine. Bar, I think there was one person in the middle, but the ball didn't go anywhere near to that area of the pitch. It's just a weird one. It's just a really weird one. Unless there's something I've missed with it, I don't think I have personally. Makes a little bit of not much sense to me. That goal got ruled out, and after that, I think Fulham got more chances, but didn't have any cutting edge. I think the game perhaps was a little bit more of a late bloomer. A little bit more happened to talk about towards the end of the game. And, Fulham tried piling on pressure, and maybe on another day we crack under that pressure and, ball goes in, hits the back of the net, and we end up, deflating and losing the game. But we hung in there. We kept it to 0-0, and we got heroics from Bruno Fernandes, which usually when we've got situations where Bruno is shooting, it doesn't really hit the target. And maybe it is another one of those where it's like we keep trying to hit, just shoot, 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 shoot. Eventually, it's going to go in. Maybe it was just we cashed in on our luck a little bit today with that strike. But I think it was deserved for Manchester United to win after having a goal, for me personally, ruled out incorrectly. But 3 points at the end of the day, and that's that in a difficult to bear season. To get 3 points is always a bonus. It's always a plus. It's always a nice little takeaway for the weekend, and it's got me feeling a little bit better. Right, it has got me feeling a little bit better. Offside rule is baffling at the best of times, but then introduces VAR to complicate matters further. Exactly, and VAR, you know, VAR once again steals headlines, especially in the Newcastle Arsenal game. Everyone's going to be absolutely livid with it, and for me, that the goal that Newcastle scored in that game was just complicated in and of itself, because they literally looked for about 3 to 4 different isolated incidences in that one passage of play where the goal was scored. So it's peculiar. It's a really, really peculiar feat. And VAR, I think, if you even abide by the letter of the law of the game, it looks way more complicated and it's frustrating to see it the way it is. Whereas before, the flow of it would have been just like, it would have been down to the officials, just solely, strictly down to them. No VAR, no intervention, nothing. Goal happens or goal doesn't happen. Everyone can either go, yeah, it's a goal, or no, it shouldn't be in a goal. Oh, or alternatively, it's, oh, that should have been a goal. Oh, yes, thank goodness it wasn't a goal. Oh, we got away with that one. At least it was literally the moment that happens, and then you move on to the next thing, right? So you have the moments of frustration here and there, but VAR has absolutely put everything that's negative under the microscope. Everything that's wrong, or even that's right, but everything that's not like simplistic, straight to the point, where people or viewers at home have to ask questions about what's the law in this, what's the rules in that, what are they? And just the process of VAR is just, it's so stop start, and it doesn't do the flow of sport any favors. So yeah, I think everyone's just got to make of it what they will. And if there is, for me, VAR's just got to go. It's got to go, because just the football's not been the same since it's come in. And the fact is that people now just only ever talk about VAR regardless. It's like, again, this in the title of this stream, Bruno serves justice. VAR ruled out a goal it shouldn't have been ruled out. At least for what I believe. But for me, it's just, I'm a bit more happy-go-lucky. So if it's like a one moment of us being robbed in a game, I would say, well, it's one moment. But at the end of the day, what happened to creating that many more moments where you can score goals? Like, what happens to those? Onana made a couple of good saves in the second half. I did see a couple of those really, really good saves. And like I said, after the Copenhagen game, I jokingly said that Onana's arrived, but actually, maybe he has. Maybe he actually has. Maybe this is Onana just sort of, he's thinking a little bit less about pressure and, I'm Manchester United goalkeeper. Maybe he's sort of getting past that now. That little mental block. He's just, just do your job. Just focus on doing the job, and happy days. And if he's not putting the elements of doubt in his head, he can focus on just doing his best work as a goalkeeper. And we're seeing various good elements to Andre Onana's game. So I'm pleased for Andre Onana. I'm happy for him. I'm glad. I'm very glad to see that he's finding his feet well. Um, and long may it continue, because anything to have a sturdy goalkeeper at the back that can be so influential that he can bring home points just from the massive saves that he makes. And if we've got that sort of firepower out from the back, or that sort of that level of influence from the back, then brilliant, because that would replace David De Gea's influence from the back. With like clean sheets is one thing, but yeah, like the massive saves that literally, if not for that save, the result changes completely. So I'm happy with Andre Onana. Only way United can win is keep a clean sheet and nick it by one goal against teams with less firepower than us. Absolutely, but I just think it's just once players sort of get into once we can get into some form of groove or something, just a bit like finding a flow, or just an element to our game where we're not just relying on moments FC, where there is a game plan that we execute, where you can see patterns, you can see like from the start of a build up of play to the end, and understand what's happened from start to finish. Like having that as unique and is identifiable, like that's for me is what United don't have right now. Is something, a style of play, something that you can identify United with. And because we don't have a style of play, that's kind of right. This comment is kind of the only real solid, or is close to consistent enough of a way to finding victories, to collecting 3 points, to not lose games. And perhaps it's just simplicity that this squad needs. And Ten Hag has had to come out and say in press conferences, I'm not going to play the Ajax way, because that's Ajax. This is Manchester United. I have players for that in Ajax, but I have Manchester United players, so I can't play Ajax way with Manchester United players. I have to play Manchester United way with Manchester United players. And I guess it's just more of the same from what we've seen here. Um, of course, that could all change if Ten Hag literally just survives, and we have like a new structure, a board that sells players that are not contributing to what Ten Hag wants to do, to play the way that he feels that he can get United to play. That then we sign players that do fit his system, that you might see yet again another transition into a different style of play. We might get that, but it has to happen sooner rather than later, because otherwise it will be too late and the job would be untenable for Erik Ten Hag. So we do need to see those changes higher up happen sooner, so we can establish or get closer to what we want to have for Erik Ten Hag's sake, that he can implement what he wants to do. But then again, you question Ten Hag to say, well, even with Man United players, you could literally just keep trying to play your style of football. I mean, look at Ange Postecoglou. Just goes into Spurs and just starts playing after 4 to 5 years of defensive football, right, and stinking out the gap, to now playing attacking, scintillating, high press football, and just sticking to his guns. And that Tottenham team is not fantastic. He's got some good players, but some average players that are playing well, and that's kind of it. That's kind of Tottenham Hotspur summed up. Now they've got they with the basis that I mean, we look at Arsenal last season. No world-class players, just some good players, just a team of a solid starting 11 of good players, top quality players, and just overachieve, and well, not overachieve, but overperform. and put yourself into promising positions, and just keep playing well and just stick with what works until it stops working. And maybe that's just as maybe that's just it. That's just the way that which that that Ten Hag might need to go. We'll just have to see. Kudos, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Still remaining as currently the only unbeaten team in the Premier League. So I'm sure you're kind of pumped with that, but you'll have to see how you do against Chelsea on Monday night. Wonder if you're feeling confident with that game or if you're feeling a little bit of jangling nerves. Have to see how things go, but Bruno papering over the cracks more than Gip Rocker. No idea who Gip Rocker is. Some labourer, I think. I think it's something to do with. I don't even know. I don't get the reference. I'm sorry. I'm uncultured. But maybe it's a goal that papers over cracks, because again, it's probably one of those. It's just a moment, but at the end of the day, the moment resulted in 3 points, and what do United desperately need? 3 points. So we got 3 points. 3 points on the road. A 1-0 clean sheet as well. I mean, at the end of the day, if there's a way to win a game, if it's a dull game, but you win it at the end, it leaves you with a high for a longer period of time, rather than it just being an early goal and just grinding out to a win at the end of the day. So I'm happier that we got that win, and we got it at the end. Like it just has it leaves a better taste in the mouth. But there's to looking at the result in full, or the performance in full, there's still plenty more to be decided. Geordie, away the lads. Congratulations with tonight, Geordie. Massive win over Arsenal, albeit controversial, but a win's a win at the end of the day. I don't really think the winning team really cares too much how it came about. Solid game, really solid game. Contrast, big contrast from a neutral's perspective, from watching dull dross 1-0s in the form of Fulham United to watching an exciting end-to-end, tense, controversial 1-0 game to end this Saturday afternoon. And fantastic game, exciting watch. But yeah, it is what it is. But congratulations nonetheless. Well done on tonight. 4 likes, yeah, 100%. Keep smashing the likes, people. See how many we can get whilst we are live. Jaminio, good to see you. Commiserations. But damn, Arsenal. I mean, do you know what? I'll say one thing. I was expecting Arsenal to lose by a bigger margin tonight. I was thinking it would be something like a 3-1, a 3-1 Newcastle win, because I'll just look at the performance on the back of your West Ham performance. I thought was a woeful performance. To then go into a Newcastle game in the Premier League, that's a bit of a step up that you've got to go through, and I didn't think that you would have much. I didn't think you would have enough to handle the occasion. But to be fair, you did okay in various aspects. But then in other elements, Newcastle just stripped you open, just cut you straight through the middle. And sometimes the amount of times it took one ball to get beyond your back line was better team probably would take those chances. But fair place to Newcastle for having a resilient, strong defence, and a little bit unfortunate that they weren't able to take more of their chances when they went forwards and provided a bit of goal threat. Both of our clubs put in woeful performances today, but at least your club won. Well done. Thank you. Thank you, first and foremost. But yeah, shambolic performances. I mean, our midfield and attack is just not it right now. Just not it. But I'll give praise to one person in the attack um, for United today, and that's Ricardo Palestri. Came on and tried to be more direct, tried to be more impactful, play in more impact areas, and you know, I'm satisfied that Palestri is providing us with more creativity, but more impact on the right hand side. And for me, Anthony has not been providing anything for me. He just hasn't. I've not been convinced by Anthony in the times that he's played this season. I believe Palestri, and I've called for Palestri to play more games because I think that he's got more to offer. Yeah, he's got more in the locker than anybody else that plays on the right hand side has. So for me, I've got to be honest. I'm rooting. I am rooting more for Fernando Palestri to be playing on our right hand side than Anthony because that guy, that brother, is not cutting it for me. Not cutting it whatsoever. Very lackluster. Um, Garnacho, I think, felt like just tried and tried and tried. It would have been Rashford starting today, but Rashford picked up an injury, a little bit of a knock. And I think Garnacho, do you know what? I wouldn't be against it if Garnacho just gets a little bit of a run in the team now. Just a few, starts. You start this game, and the next, and the next, and the next. Just a little run of games to see just how far he can take some momentum, maybe a bit of confidence to go into the next few games with. It'll be interesting. It provides a different dynamic to the front line, whether it's a clinical goal scoring front line. I highly doubt, but for us right now, we just need to have a front line that has a bit of cutting edge to it, whether that's in creating big chances or finishing them, and it also would require our midfield to sharpen up a little bit. I'm feeling confident, but it will be tough. By the way, Gip Rocker is someone who works with plaster. Yeah, I've saw that, but it's for some reason on my Google search, my Google search, it came up spelt as GYP rather than GIPP. Must be an Australian term. It might be. I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, spelt with a GYP from what I'd seen. But yeah, not very cultural. Arsenal will smash Newcastle. Terry Flowers. Yeah. I saw his the title of his live stream. Arsenal robbed. Arsenal were robbed. I'm thinking Arsenal might have had one decision go against them, and it's just that. It is just that one decision. But what did Arsenal do for the rest of the game? I don't recall Nick Pope having to make worldy saves to keep the scoreline down. I don't recall him having to dive to make a miraculous save to keep Arsenal from scoring. I just believe that Arsenal can have all that possession, and where's the troubling shots coming from? I mean, Trossard came on, and corner-wise, oh my God, Leandro Trossard coming on, man. Like, from corner kicks 3 times, failed to beat the first man. Not good enough. It wouldn't be a controversial win if David Raya was bothered to use one of his arms. Can't stand him. He is worse than De Gea. Do you know, that's funny. It's funny you say that, Jaminho, because a lot of people that were on De Gea's case were saying David Raya is the perfect replacement for David De Gea because he's the ball-playing goalkeeper. And I said, no way, Jose. Go look elsewhere. If you want to replace David De Gea, you go look elsewhere. But I wasn't fussed with replacing De Gea because for me, a goalkeeper wasn't the problem. But anyways, um, anyways, I can't stay for long, offers, but I've hit the like. Thank you very much, Jaminho. You gotta go, if you gotta go do something, go and do it. Big ups to you, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in. Are you going to be on Yeti's watch along? I'll have to see what time that is, because I might be. If it's one of the like more earlier afternoons or later afternoon streams, then I can do. Depends if you would like me to be on. We'll have to see. But I could be. We'll have to see. Hopefully Bruno starts being more impactful now and gets confidence from this winning goal. We need a proper captain to bind this team together, with the manager being under so much pressure. We just need elements of this team where everyone fights for each other, because I did on the match preview last night that I just felt like the team is just too individually based. There's too many individuals playing for themselves, but not trying for their teammates. So for me, Bruno Fernandes, great. He scored the goal, to get us the win. The winning goal, the winning strike. Bit of a tough watch type game, but at the end of the day, in the league format, 3 points are key, and we've achieved that. We've achieved 3 points today. So in our current state of affairs, I'm just going to take them 3 points and run with it. 5 likes. Yep, keep smashing them likes. Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Big ups to everybody that does hit that like as well. And also subscribe. We are 5 away from 120 subs. So big shout out to those who do subscribe to the channel. I was surprised by the fact that Jorginho and Havertz actually showed a bit of fight. Not saying they were brilliant, but I was expecting them to be spineless when Newcastle started fighting us. Do you know what? I thought there's one player that I was just like, seeing the amount of times when Newcastle were about to make the breakaways, if not for Declan Rice cutting out that many Newcastle attacks before they really get into dangerous positions, man, that could have been a cricket score. That could have gotten a whole lot uglier. Declan Rice, kiss that guy's feet for keeping it to 1-0. Seriously. That guy is cut out. That guy just cut out so much. Just so much. Just nullified from the turnover of possession. That final pass away from being almost a guaranteed goal or such, or a major goal scoring opportunity, and he just cuts it out. But yeah, to be fair, Havertz and Jorginho weren't absolutely downright abysmal. I just think your attack was a bit toothless today. Not bitter toothless, very toothless. Ericsson is one of the worst midfielders I've seen in ages. He was tragic today. United never should have signed him. On the basis that he was a free signing for one, was at the time last season was a good signing. But I've got to be honest, the guy's legs went within the first half, and yeah, a bit concerning that the guy hasn't really got any legs to go for 90 minutes, which is a shame. It is a shame. Ricardo has to be given a run of games now, surely. Fully agree. I'd give Fernando Palestri a run of games, because he can't do worse than Anthony. To be quite frankly honest, he can't do worse than Anthony. And we do need to have more impact from various areas. And I believe Garnacho could provide more impact for the team if he's playing on the left. And I believe that Fernando Palestri, he offers more. He gives us more attacking prowess, though may not be superstar quality by any means, it's better than what we're getting from Anthony. So for me, I've got to go with I've got to go with starting Ricardo Palestri, especially with the next couple of games because we haven't got massive fixtures coming up. So at least for the next couple of games, I want to see Palestri start. The survival rate of cardiac arrest is such a small chance, yet Man United are using this miracle to unlock one of the most shambolic versions of a football. Jesus Christ, Jaminho. Bloody hell. 6 likes. Keep them coming. See if we can try and hit 10 likes. Let's try and hit 10 likes, people. Let's set the target. Let's go for it. As Louis van Gaal once said, yes, we'll go for it. At least that was not as like dead inside as that, but you know, much more boisterous. I think the decision was wrong at first, but I'm not blaming VAR for the fact that we have an incompetent goalkeeper. But I think David Raya, it's going to take a bit of time because I mean this is the problem. You've sort of slipped into a compromising position where the goalkeeper that's more suited to what Arteta wants is out of form, right? The other goalkeeper is not the sort of goalkeeper that Arteta wants, but some fans will say, I want a Ramsdale because we're more familiar with him in goal. But then you see, like West Ham, Ramsdale is a suspect goalkeeper as well. So it's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place with the goalkeeping situation. So, yeah, it's a difficult situation. Eddie Nketiah, man. Boy, that guy score one hat trick and man should just disappear. Man should just disappear. Like, offered absolutely nothing for you in attack. Arsenal always the victim. They shouldn't ride their hopes on one opportunity. I think it's got to be the outlook for a lot of fans. For me, that when you lose a game, you don't look at one isolated incident. You look at 90 minutes of football, and you see what did we not do that meant that we didn't win this game, or we didn't deserve to win this game. Like what happened in 90 minutes that we didn't do, but what did we do for that 90 minutes that, you know, decided between us winning a game and losing a game or drawing a game. Like, look at it from that perspective, rather than saying, well, the referee gave a foul when it shouldn't have been a foul. I mean, even if that goal doesn't happen and, you know, things like that, like let's say the goal doesn't happen, game finishes 0-0. Arsenal fans go from saying, we should have won that game, it's daylight robbery, that goal shouldn't have stood. So, okay, so we take away the goal. Straight away, Arsenal fans would start turning around and go, but they should have had players sent off. If they were down to 10 men, we would have won this game. It's like, okay, so we take away all of those red card worthy incidences by your perception. They'd still go on. They'd still find something to blame as for the reason why they didn't win the game. They would. They'd still find something, and it's it's not the way to look at things for me. I'm starting to dislike Raya almost as much as I dislike Rice, even though he was, you know, at least with Rice, he's tried, he's done everything he could for Arsenal, but unfortunately, doing enough wasn't trying to do enough still wasn't enough. For me, De Gea was a problem, but there's definitely bigger problems at United. Cough, cough, Glazers, cough, cough. Yeah. Glazers, I mean, it's the fact that because the club doesn't have direction at the top, it doesn't have direction at the top. So why would we have direction from the manager? Why would we have direction from the players? The players are empowered. They are enabled by our owners and our board. They are enabled. So, of course, player power exists because everyone's chilled out up top. They don't care. There's no endeavour or, sense of desperation to be successful on the pitch, because, you know, point one for the Glazers, being Manchester United owners, is to make a quick buck, to make profit. Look at the financial spreadsheets. Are we in greens? Are we in reds? And unfortunately, we are sitting more and more and more into reds, and we're going further and further into the reds. So yeah, those Glazers could be looking at finance sheets nowadays and stressing out a whole heck of a lot more than they would have been doing before. But yeah, that's unfortunately the reality that we have to deal with. And every single manager, and this is my concern, is everyone that is, Ten Hag out, whether so, and that's the interesting question: is if you are Ten Hag out, who's your choice of replacement manager? Like, do you have a plan in your head as to what you'd want this club to do? Because if you don't, then there's futile to say, well, I want a manager sacked. Right, okay, so you will sit in a bottomless pit, a void of absolute nothingness, so far in between everything that you don't actually have an idea. So we'll sack a manager with no plan. We'll sack a manager with no clue. Sack a manager with no idea. So if you have someone that you have in mind to replace Ten Hag, this squad, the way it is not very much together. It's not very much together. They're not all on the same page right now. So for me, a manager can come in and replace Ten Hag, and everyone will be celebrating, saying, "Yay, we're going to have better style of play." What happens to all of those fans that celebrate that when we don't get a new manager bounce? So, because everyone's just looking for the new manager bounce, right? Or looking for a style of play. What happens when the players don't pull their weight? Ralph Rangnick got 45 minutes and that was all she wrote. Ten Hag had a full preseason and got spanked in the first two games before changing his philosophies. So what's to say that the next guy that comes in has a new manager bounce? What if they don't? We'll end up the deep hole that we're already in. It's only going to get deeper, and then how are you going to get out? For me, the imperative change, like everything below, is irrelevant. It's imperative the change has to happen up top. If it doesn't, then literally everything else about this club below is futile, completely futile. Mourinho having two number ones always ends badly. De Gea, Henderson is proof of that. Big up, buddy. That's true. I mean, Henderson wanted to be number one, but was never really given the opportunities because David De Gea was, a mainstay in the team, and it was better to get rid of him sooner. Sell him, get a good price, and it's like when we had what was it, Sergio Romero. Like for his country, I think he was good enough to be their number one for Argentina. But when he didn't really complain too much about being the second choice, right, behind De Gea. He didn't really mind that. He was actually quite chill with it. Came in, and whenever he came in, mate, man was a solid goalkeeper. Like Sergio Romero, I can't rate Sergio Romero enough. Like solid backup goalkeeper. Thanks on you're 100% spot on. I give Rice minus 10,000 in my ratings because he's a snake. What if he scored you a hat trick? Like, let's say the goal happens from Newcastle and Declan Rice just goes on an absolute FU spree and just starts scoring worldy after worldy, like proper prime Yaya Toure, just smashing Newcastle to pieces. Like, would he at least get a positive rating? Or is it? Are we talking? Maybe we'll down that to like a minus 10 rating. Big ups to young long-haired Yeti. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. A bit of a mad one going on in group chats, talking about a Christmas show and all, or the plans to do a Christmas show soon with plenty of people in the community. If we are to do a Christmas show, then I'm massively, massively looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun if and when it happens. Really, really looking forward to it. We'll have to see how things go. Ericsson is worse than McTominay. At least McShite can chip in with the odd goal here and there. Ericsson can't do a thing. It's funny you should say that because I'm pretty sure Ericsson has contributed. Actually, how many goals has Ericsson got? Because I swear he has contributed with goals or assists here and there. Then we go to squad. Let me find Christian Eriksen down here. So yeah, he has scored a goal this season, Christian Eriksen. 10 appearances. So yeah, so far this season in the Premier League, he scored 1 and assisted 1. Last season, he scored 1 and assisted 8. So he can do something. He can do something. It's just he hasn't got the legs to really, have much drive in games for 90 minutes as such. But we do need to have someone that can do that. Yeti. 7 likes. I haven't seen 7 likes, but if we are on 7 likes, then massive shout outs to everybody. It's definitely well. Amazing how a win lifts the gloom a little. Yeah. And the best part about it, Stephanie, is when it's the 12:30 kickoff or it's the first game of the weekend and you just get that win, you can relax. You can relax. Just watch the rest of the football for the rest of the weekend and enjoy it. Because the hard part is done. The hard part is done. And then the rest of it comes easy. So, yeah, lucky win, but 3 points is all that counts. Yep, at the end of the day, 3 points. 3 points is all that matters. Arsenal would like it right now. They would love some 3 points. But no 3 points around here. We're taking what we get, and we are keeping it to ourselves. Confident against Villa. Ooh, Nottingham Forest against Villa. Where is that? Is that home or away? So at City Ground. But yeah, man, up against 5th place Villa. 5th place Villa, man. I'll tell you what, if Villa win their game, if Villa win their game and Liverpool win theirs, Villa move up to, I think Arsenal drop down to 5th. Aston Villa move up to 4th place and Liverpool move up to 3rd. Interesting. Yeah, this table could look interesting come the end of the weekend. It could look interesting. Very much so. But yeah, man, that sounds like a very, very tough game. Really, really tough game. I think it's at the City Ground. Did you hear Saeed's ransom that a Goldbridge fuzzy box off it? Yeah. Mate, it's beef. It's just beef. Like I'm not one to sort of jump into beef or take sides with like shit like that. It's just everyone trying for a bit of roughing up. But yeah, is what it is. Not seeing it. Ericsson scored against Forest. He did. Yeah, that is true. Tony, Barbara, how we doing? Got the milk out in full force. Chocolate milk in full force. United is back. Oh, if only we were. I mean, it's probably going to be shambolic football next week as well. So I'm wondering actually, what game do we have midweek? I'm pretty sure we've got a game midweek. If we haven't, then damn, we'll have a bit of rest. No, we have Copenhagen away on the 8th. So yeah, hopefully that's we can get some more confidence and keep something going, start something up. Great performance, new contract for Erik ten Hag. Do you know what the funny thing is based off of the way that the players are right now, if the club were to offer Ten Hag a new contract, it would be a statement of intent to those players, where the players who think they can get another manager sacked, or for anybody that believes that they can get the manager sacked, that offering a new contract to a manager is a massive FU to the players. It's a massive FU to the players. And for me, look, player power FC's got to die. It has got to die. So if there is a move that actually does kill, a massive element of that player power FC, then I'm all for it, because there's one thing I cannot stand is players that are too big for their boots. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But then again, it might be United shooting themselves in the foot by offering a contract to a manager that might just say throw in the towel at some point in the near future. That could also happen. So this table could look interesting, said by an Arsenal fan before he smashed his table. Yeah, man. I can imagine. A lot of... You're not talking about Terry Fleurs by any chance, are you? Wow. Get in the kitchen and I will forgive. Wow, Yeti. Wow. Bloody hell. Beer's going good on the Suaves. Sevilla smells blood. It's gonna be tough midweek. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. That is gonna be very difficult. Sevilla midweek. Ooh. The games, the tough games just don't stop coming for Arsenal. See what Sevilla are doing. Sevilla drew 1-1 with Celta Vigo today. 10-man Celta Vigo as well. Real Sociedad versus Barcelona still 0-0, and it's nearly 80 minutes played. So that's another one. That's another interesting one. Catch you later, Hot Fuzz Yeti and chat. Catch you later, Stephanie. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you coming into stopping by, saying hello, and leaving your support as well. Really, really appreciate it. Have an amazing community, man. Some fantastic channel regulars, and I'm very, very much blessed to have everybody here. Would love to give Chelsea a slap. If we don't get the 3 points, we'll be fuming. And you know what? It is sort of over. It is hands over to Tottenham Hotspur now. That's where the attention is. I don't think people are going to be looking quite at Liverpool just yet. Everyone's going to be looking at Tottenham Hotspur. They'll be looking, all right, do Tottenham stay unbeaten, or do they lose their unbeaten status as well? It's a home game as well. And tell you one person who's going to be kicking themselves in absolute jangled nerves right now is going to be Mr. Henry Wright, because if memory serves me correct, Tottenham lose on Monday. That's a one chip challenge for a guy that just does not like his spicy stuff. And one chip challenge has killed somebody in this country. So, yeah, it's a serious challenge. If you are not one to liking your spices, or you can't handle your spices, I recommend not doing it, because you will be in for a really, really stressful time. Sorry to say, but I think tomorrow will be a loss. Don't need to say sorry to me. Um, I think it's going to be one of those where if you get if you beat this Aston Villa team, it's going to be a statement win. It would be a statement win for Nottingham Forest to beat Aston Villa tomorrow, because it is a big game. It's a tough game. It's Unai Emery, probably going to be a bit stubborn. A hard to break down team. We'll have to see what's in store for them. Obviously, you're coming off the back of, I think, losing 4-0 to Liverpool. So yeah, it's another tough game after a tough game. But if you are able to get anything out of this game, it's a big positive, big plus. Yeah, have hope. Have hope. Small communities are the best communities. They are. They are. Henry's going to have the emergency room on standby. He's going to have an ambulance parked outside. It's probably going to be Lee Gunner that's going to call that ambulance, by the way. He's probably going to have an ambulance parked outside his house. I meant Spurs loss. Do you know what? It's going to be an interesting spectacle, because I think some people are probably feeling like, oh, Chelsea, we could do a bit of damage here. Chelsea probably feeling a little bit of something where it's like, well, we gave Arsenal a run for their money, so let's go and give the other North London club a run for their money. Let's go out and let's do some damage. Let's see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting watch on Monday night. Between Spurs and Chelsea. Not us. What you're talking about? Well, you're a probable loss as well, Yeti. Your game, you are a probable loss. You might lose tomorrow's game. Villa, Unai Emery. And Aston Villa firing on all cylinders. It's a massive game for you as well. So it's more likely that you'll lose that game. But if you don't lose, if you win that game, it will be a statement win. I just don't see how we lose to Chelsea. Defensively, they are good, but offensively, they are woeful. Well, to be fair to Chelsea, it's just what they're going to do in the final third for me. Are they going to be on it in the final third, or are they going to be just missing everything again? Because if they start missing everything, then yeah, they've got no hope in hell. But not ruling out completely, though. It's keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. We'll have to see what happens. If you want to jump on the watch along, you're more than welcome. I'll keep that under consideration. I think it's 2:00 kickoff as well. I think it just depends on what happens as far as lunch is concerned, because Sunday lunch, there's usually a lot of people around here. So if there is a lot going on, then I might. I might be able to. If it's an early lunch, then I won't. But if it's a later one, then probably. But if you're going to stay live for the Luton Liverpool game, Yeti, then I can join you for that one. I can join you for a Luton Liverpool watch along. That's going to be an absolute bloodbath, though, in north west London. But yeah, I'll have to see how things go. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight, people. Thank you very much to everybody that has stopped by, said hello, dropped likes on the stream. Make sure if you're watching on playback to continue smashing those likes, but also if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 120. So yeah, 5 off of 120. I'll just get that verified as well. Get a quick check. Yep, still 5 away. If we can hit that 120 subscribers mark, then that would be massive. Thank you very much to everybody that does do so, and massively appreciate the support. Big ups to everybody that has stopped by and chatted in the comment section. And also, if you do watch and playback, feel free to leave your verdicts of today's games, whatever game it is that you watched, whatever game, whatever team it is you support. Leave your verdicts in the comment section below as well. So yeah, thank you very much for everybody for watching. I'll probably stay live all day knowing me. Yeah, we're going to do another another long haul stream. Um, but I will be I'm sure I'll join you at some point on the day, Yeti. Cheers, Muzz, and all see you all on Yetis if you're on 100%. Do make sure to go and subscribe to Longheads Yeti's Cave. Nottingham Forest fan will be doing a watch along for his team tomorrow it's a 2 o'clock kickoff. So if you are around on Sunday afternoon, do make sure to go and tune in for that watch along stream. And if he fancies it, he'll also be live for the Luton Liverpool game. And you will probably see me there as well. So do make sure to go over and subscribe to Longhead Yeti's Cave. Also, make sure to keep the notification bell switched on because YouTube, you are up to some shit. You are up to some shit. And yeah, just make sure you got notifications switched on and know when the shows go live. Let's talk some shit and have fun. Yeah, absolutely. That is just it at the end of the day. Just have fun. Just have fun. Just have a laugh. Just talk absolute smack and enjoy it. Don't worry about no stress like settings or anything at all. Just have fun. And that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be for the rest of this weekend. Big up, bro. Great stream. Thank you very much, Yeti, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, that's it from me for tonight. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday nights, whatever it is you have planned. And I'm sure you will see me featuring some point tomorrow on Longhaired Yeti's Cave. Do make sure to go and subscribe to him. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I am out. Peace, everybody. Cheers.